What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And today I have a treat for you. I have my good friend Shardae Howard with us today. How you doing, Shardae?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing well. I'm glad you could come out today and get on the call and make this video for us. So, guys, Shardae is a process operator. She works over in Pascagoula, Mississippi at Chevron, one of the big dogs in the oil and gas industry. And today we're just going to have a normal conversation going back and forth. And she's going to give you her perspective as a female, not only just a female, a Black woman that's in a male dominant space. So Shardae, to start things off, what got you into process operations? How did you get started, and what made you decide this career field?
Yeah. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is like from the beginning when I was actually in high school. So my senior year of high school, I was actually focused on like the medical side of like wanting to become a nurse, looking at being a nurse practitioner. But then as I got closer to my graduation, I actually like started to change the way I thought, and I actually wanted to look into other things because it's not just a nurse out there, it's all kinds of fields. So I actually was in the VOTEC program within our high school, and I was in health science, which went towards nursing in the medical side. But as I was in the field, I realized like I don't really know if I want to do nursing because I did job shadowing and I would go to the hospital and I'm like, I don't know if I can really handle like, the medical side, and also going to school for like free. So I'm like, I really want a full scholarship, like, and I want to be able to like come out debt free, the best option for me, my future, everything. And I didn't apply for like I didn't qualify for any of like the Pell Grants, so my family couldn't pay. They had to pay out of their pocket. I would have to take student loans. So I began to look into the VOTEC program. They had a full scholarship, like full tuition scholarship to our community college that we have here in Mississippi in Goshen. So I was like, okay. I looked on there and I saw the different programs that the scholarship covers. So I'm like going through each program and I'm like seeing which ones I like, seeing which ones I don't. And I came across process operations. So I'm like, this seems to be something that I possibly be interested in. And also the money was really good. So I'm okay, like let me look into like this field. So I talked to some of my teachers. I actually talked to my counselors and I got some more, information about the job. And so once I did that, I was like, okay, I'm going to take this step and this is what I'm going to do. So I started school. I went through school and I actually had a scholarship through taking the VOTEC program. So I had a full tuition scholarship. And then on top of that, I applied for a scholarship through Chevron and they gave me a scholarship as well. So I had two scholarships. So I had school paid for, and that was like awesome. Like, so the program was for 2 years and it wasn't very hard at all. Like you have to go through a 2-year program. You have to get the process side of it, also your basics. So you had like English, algebra, biology, or and like electives and stuff like that. But the schooling was not hard at all. So it was a 2-year program. And towards the end of my program, when I graduated, I got my associates. I actually started to look into internships. So we had Chevron, they actually sponsored this program here, and they came and they told us about the internship. So I actually networked, and we had what they call a PTech program, and within the program you can go and volunteer. So and that helps with networking as well. Oh, wow. So I actually was networking with different people. I talked to people who work out at Chevron who's over the internship, and I just showed up, got my name out there so they can remember my face, my name. And that helps along the way too when you're in this field, to network and get to know people, because it's like the right place, right time. So after I had graduated college, I actually got I went through the interview process for the internship, and I actually was one of the candidates that got selected. So I did my internship from April to July. It was about 3 months. And I did my internship. And then after my internship, they actually had it where right after me, if you did good on your internship, you got hired straight on. But my class
Right.
was the class that they didn't get to do that, but I wish it would have been.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's like an interview, like any internships, you just have to try your best, show up, be on time, have a positive attitude, be a team player, show all those good qualities that they want, in the field, because you're there. And then in the internship, it was like the job. You did 12 hours, you had everything that was like the real job. So I did my internship. And then after my internship, that was when the pandemic hit. So everything kind of got thrown off because no one knew what to expect. That's right. So after my internship, I applied for the permanent position, and like I said, the pandemic hit. So it was a long process trying to get hired on, but I just kept the faith and kept saying, I want to work here and I'm going to get here. So in the meantime, I actually got hired on at a wastewater plant, and I was actually an operator out there. So being in a wastewater plant, it was operations, but it wasn't like as many people. It's different from like oil and gas, but it still wasn't a bad job there. They work a 4-10 schedule. So you work 4 days out the weekend, you work 10 hours. So you have 3 days off, so that's still nice. That was a good benefit. You worked around pumps. We had water, so we would actually treat water, like wastewater. We would treat it there at the plant. And so I worked there for about a year. And then after I worked there, I actually got the call back from Chevron saying, hey, we want to hire you on. And I went through the hiring process with them. And March 1st actually made 1 year with me being on with the company. So it's been a tough road, but I'm so happy. It was worth everything. It was worth everything.
Yeah, that's good. And congratulations on making 1 year. So
yes, sir. Thank you.
That's good. Yeah, that's really good.
Yes.
Also, too, interesting about your wastewater experience. That schedule is nice. I mean, getting the weekends off every weekend. I know that's nice. Yeah. So with the wastewater, as far as the physical demands, which one is easier or is it the same? As far as that compared to Chevron?
So if I had to compare the two, it's really hard. I guess I would say though, as far as having a bad day out there at the wastewater plant, it's not much you deal with, like as far as the danger side of it's water. So I mean, it's not really hard physical, but at Chevron, like a bad day at Chevron is a bad day.
It's a bad day,
That's right. And the oil and gas in itself, it's a lot more dangerous, so what you're dealing with, if something goes wrong, you have to get it under control. So I say that as far as like day to day, they both consider like making a round, going out there in the plant. You deal with both like pumps and stuff like that. A little more, way more equipment with Chevron, but the wastewater side, it wasn't too demanding. It was more laid back, I'd say that.
Okay, so that's good. Hey, for all you out there listening, both men and women, hey, if you're waiting on to hear from a job, hey, get you some experience. Like I'm telling you guys,
that's right,
man. If you got that P-Tech degree plus some experience, all you do, you increase your chances of getting a full-time job.
that's
so
right.
That's really good. You got the experience and the degree. Speaking of your internship, it was the same for me. So the class before me, if you intern, you pretty much got hired on right after intern.
Yes.
But for my class, it was a delay as well. And I don't think it was it wasn't no pandemic enough, because this was back in 2014. But they wasn't hiring until like that fall.
Right.
So it was just a big delay. Now I worked another job, whatever, just to keep money coming in. You're out of school, so
that's right. Yeah.
But yeah, that's good. So we actually have some questions from a subscriber, Tia. She wants to know, what are some of the common company positions for women, or that you see women in that they thrive in at Chevron?
Okay, so if I was to talk about companies as well as positions around here, I know it's like Mississippi, it's not like most people think no opportunity, but you know, here locally, I got hired on at the wastewater plant. That's a company, you know, getting in operations. You have Chevron, which is an oil refinery, and then I also have like a friend at the power company that we have here. So they have like a power plant here, and they have operators as well. So getting that degree, you can go down whatever avenue like you want to go down. And whether you're like, okay, oil and gas is not my thing, you know, I don't really want to be around chemicals and in a dangerous situation, you know, you could go work at a water plant. And of course, if whatever decision you make, you have to weigh your pros and cons, because I had to do the same thing. So, and also like, it's not just operations. Like here at Chevron, you can be an engineer. We have chemical engineers, process engineers, electrical engineers, mechanical. It's so many different avenues out there in the refinery. If that's just like where you want to go, you can become an engineer. And we actually even have nurses out there. We have a nurse that is on at the actual refinery, you know. You have INE. That's another program that they actually offer at the school, at the community college. You could become an INE mechanic who goes in and look at the electrical side of things, and they have women in that field. So it's not just process operations. It's a lot of different avenues you can take. You can even become a part of the maintenance side, because I know women that are in maintenance, and we also have a lab where we run samples. You have a main lab that you can take your samples to, and they have women in there. So it's so broad. Like in two, I know like for my wastewater, when I worked there, we also had safety, and as well as the one in at the refinery, we have safety department. So it's so much. You have learning and development. It's a lot of avenues out there, and if you apply yourself and you reach out to different people, you can become anything you want to be. You just have to have that hard work and dedication to say, hey, I want this, and I'm gonna go get this.
Yep, that's true. Hey, closed mouths don't get fed. You have to let them know.
That's right.
Yep. This is what I'm after. All right, so that was really good. The next question Tia has is, what is it like being a woman working in a male dominant field? You're around men day in, day out. So how's that?
So that is different, but I feel like I would say like, so as far as the schedule go, we work 12 hours. So you're around them like all the time, you know, and they kind of become like your family. And like any job, not just this specific job, like any job I ever had, you have drama, you have people you not gonna like, you know, that's just a part of working in general, you know. So but if I would have to say like working around me, and you know, just physical things, like as far as like them being stronger than you, I mean, you can't really help that, you know what I mean? And sometimes people don't know how to perceive you. Like before, I'm pretty sure like when it was like years back, it was only men. So you have to come in knowing you are going to be different, you know, like it's men being around men, and for them to bring in a woman, it's like, oh my gosh, like we have a woman here now, you know. So it does shift things, and like sometimes you may feel like you're not a part of every conversation, which is perfectly fine, because men or women, we have different makeups, you know, like we enjoy hair and, you know, makeup done and everything like that, and they enjoy fishing or sports or, you know, whatever it is. So it is a disconnect, but you just have to make the best of it, honestly. And working around them, they try to connect with me, they try to get to know me, they try to get to know what I like. So it don't make it, you know, bad. But it is different, I'll say that. It's not like, you know, being around a whole bunch of women, but you know, that's with any job. So if I had to pick, I mean, it's not real bad. And then also I have women on crew with me, so it actually helps sometimes, you know. So it's not just just strictly, just you by yourself.
Yeah.
But I have other women on like in the area that I work in. So it helps a lot.
Good. Yep. And speaking of that, I have women on my crew as well. Also, there are women in management. You know, I had a female supervisor at one point, and then area team leagues higher up, you know.
That's right.
There are women as well. So, but like you say, guys, we're not going to be, you probably don't get included into every conversation. I mean,
that's right.
Not much women want to talk about hunting or, you know, wrestling or MMA and all that stuff.
Right. Yeah.
But hey, it's really respectful. Like I made some comments before, like, hey, if anything offend you or if you don't like something, you have to speak up. So that's one thing.
Right.
You have to say, hey, this offends me, so people can adjust their behavior.
That's right.
So
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that's good. Let's see what else she has for you. Oh, okay. Talk about your transition from the school to the job. Like while you're in school, talk about like how did you study? Because I'm pretty sure, you know, being in college is all these distractions. Hey, everybody young too, you want to do things. Tell me about some of the sacrifices it took in school and then that transition into the job.
Oh yeah, so I actually that's a really good question. I went through a lot of how can I word this? Just just the disconnect of friends. For one, I'll say like from high school to college, you go to like high school and you're around a bunch of people that you have to be around versus college. Going to a junior college, I was commuting back and forth to school, and it was go to school, you know, do your work and study, and then you come back home. So that was a disconnect in itself of like not being around people and everything. And then the transition from school to work. So being in school, I have like just I think I personally just have, you know, good self-motivation and a good drive to say, I want this. Yeah. So in college, I actually signed up to be a part of like a P-Tech, like I said, the P-Tech program, which is like it's like a club, and you have like volunteer hours, and it helps you to network. So for me, I had to like miss out on a lot of different things when I wanted to go and get something done. So like when we had volunteer hours and it was with a major company like Mississippi Power or Chevron, I would take time out to say like, hey, I can't do this. I have to go and do this. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then two, I actually like tried to tell some of my friends that was in the program with me to come along. Like, hey, you know, they have this opportunity that we can go and volunteer and we can work with people that work at Chevron. So we can talk to them, we can network, we can get to know them, and that can help you on the back end. So when I was in school, I would just always like have school as my number one priority. So like, and that makes you miss out on a lot of things, like even with working. I mean, it's a lot to deal with when you're working, trying to maintain, and then also going to school. But you have to realize, okay, school, like all these jobs are temporary. This is temporary, but school is going to get me to where I want to be. Yep. So that was the challenge. And then transitioning from school to getting a job was like, I have to be authentic and real. That was like one of the worst periods, because like you go through and you get this degree and you're trying to get this job, and it's hard because like I was like, man, I want this job. And it wasn't just like, oh, it was a smooth transition. Like, no, I had a gap between my internship and me getting hired on. And during that gap, I just had to say, I can't just sit down and cry. I have to go and, you know, stay in operations and get more experience. And I worked at the water plant, and like that can help you too along the way. If you were saying like, hey, this is a bit too much for me and I thought I wanted this, but I don't, you can always go back. Right. That's right. So the transition was definitely hard, you know, because anyone come out of school and you have a degree and you're trying to get a job, you have to think about like the job demand. You know, they may not hire people for 2 years because they have so many people there, you know. So the transition was definitely hard as far as from school to getting a job, just because you want a job so bad and it's just not in the time right now. You know what I mean? So, but you still have to just continue to make yourself better while you're waiting. That's good. Listen, that's really real, because I went through the same thing. Like That's right.
When you're in the program, you're seeing guys get jobs. They didn't even finish the degree.
Right.
Yeah. So I
Mm-hmm.
mean, and also too, you seeing women, you seeing both. You seeing people get a job as soon as they graduate. Like, hey, they graduate on Saturday, they walking into the job on Wednesday. So hey, it's not fair. Like you say, it's not fair. But with you being self-motivated like you are, and hey, I'm the same way. Look, you got to keep pushing no matter what. If this is something that you really want, and I think it's a test. That's what it is. So one of the most, I guess it would be the most profound sayings that I remember is the price of success is sacrifice. So
oh my God,
there's gonna be some sacrifice somewhere on this path, whether you get this close or you just start not. Somewhere it's gonna be some
that's right.
sacrifice. That's right. Yeah. But yeah, that's good. I mean, guys, look, hopefully you do get the job. I hope you get the job midway through it. Hey, we want you now. You don't even have to finish the degree.
That's right. And I always apply. Yeah. Like that's one thing too. Yes. Like sometimes people feel like they look at all these job requirements and they're like, oh, I don't have this. No. Apply. If it's something you want and something you want, apply. Because you don't know what you have, like what's in store. Like, you know, it could be a blessing for you. So yeah, like you said.
That's true. Yeah, guys, apply. You take me back memory lane now. I remember applying. I think I probably applied to about either 20 to 30 companies. It was all because I was ready. I was willing to move, so it didn't even matter to me. I opened my umbrella all the way.
Oh yeah, that's a plus.
Florida, Texas, Louisiana, California, wherever.
Yeah.
I said, hey, if somebody give me a chance, I'm out. So. But yeah, guys, you have to, if you really want it, you have to push through those tough days, you know.
Yes.
Yep.
And sometimes it's so unpredictable too, because like when I finished, I mean, it wasn't two weeks I got a job. It wasn't 2 months I got a job. It wasn't 3 months, 6 months. You know, it was like over a year. You know, I graduated college in December of 2019, and then I got hired on with the actual company March of 2021. So, you know, it was a year and some change that I had to say, okay, like stay focused. Like you just have to keep trying, you know, and it'll come if you keep applying yourself.
Yeah, that's 100% true. But hey, now you're there, you done made you 1 year, so, and they got only a few more to go, and then hey, you can walk away from that job and hey, be sitting back, enjoying.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right. Yep. Let's get into more of the fun questions. So,
okay,
how was it when you first got that big check from Chevron and it hit that direct deposit and you was like, all right, we made it? How did that feel?
That was the best feeling. Like, and that's one thing that I had always thought about in high school. Like that was like, so when you're in high school and like when you were in college, you have to think about finance because in this world, everything's going up, everything. So you can't just always, you know, go off of what you want to do. Sometimes it's money involved too, because like I said, with the two companies, I mean, you have to think about money. That's one of the bigger things. So when I got that first check, I was like, oh my gosh, like it's so excited.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do with myself. Like I was like, okay, I gotta go check out one of the things that I want. Like, you know, and you have to be smart about it. You have to keep your goals, like house, you know, if you want a house, if you want a new car, if you whatever your goal is, you have to keep that, you know, your business, but you also have to reward yourself and, you know, have fun, you know, whether it's a trip or some new shoes or purse or whatever it is, you know. So when I first got that check, I'm like, okay, it's only up from here. And I was excited. I was happy, excited, all that.
Yep. Yeah. I remember it was like it was yesterday. We was in training and it was just 1 week. They was like, yes, you guys getting paid next week. You came in the middle of a pay period. And I saw that thing 1 week of pay and had a comma. I said, whoa, this is for 1 week? I was like, oh man, this is, like you say, it's only up from here. And then
that's right. Yeah.
Man, it just to me, it was like a sense of, okay, you've climbed this hill and now you're on the other side. All the
That's right.
studying, all the think about it, it's so much stuff you miss out on college. Like I remember getting invited to like all the step shows and all these parties and stuff. I can't do it because I'm
Yeah.
studying, you know.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
like you say, you volunteering. So on the weekends, a whole bunch of stuff happened the weekend, like going to Hattiesburg or
Right.
Jackson or to the football
Right.
games,
Yeah.
Ole Miss and
Yeah.
Mississippi State. Yeah. So
Right.
yeah, it was good. Tell them about let the viewers know about the uh the turnarounds or shutdown schedules, like the pros and cons of working that shutdown.
So working a shutdown, yeah, turn around. Those are when you have to put your big girl pants on, big boy
Mm-hmm.
pants on, because the schedule is still just depending on, like, what company you work for or what's the demand, how long it's gonna be. You have to work 13 days off one day, you have to work
Mm-hmm.
12 days off 2 days, you may work 6 days off one day. It just depends on whatever schedule they give you, or or if you're on nights or on days, that's one
Mm-hmm.
thing. But that's probably the hardest part for me. As far as like when I have to do a turnaround or shutdown or anything, is the schedule. But the pro of it is you get to see so much stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they open up equipment, or like just seeing a unit shut down or start up, like that whole thing, that experience of going through it, a turnaround or shutdown, is awesome. And then of course the chicks are lovely, very
Oh
nice,
yeah.
very nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, guys, look, that's during the shutdown or turnaround, whatever term they use at your
Mhm.
facility. Yeah, that's when you're gonna learn the most. You actually get to see everything opened up, see what's actually inside the equipment, like you say. Um, Also, too,
Yeah.
hey, it's gonna be a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, but when that direct deposit hit, you'll be crying, but
Yeah.
you'll be wiping it up with them
And
$100
what-
bills.
yes, they are nice.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So, Shardae, how is it dating wise? Like, hey,
Mhm.
you got this nice job, everybody
Right.
wanna have some sense of love in their life. So how is
That's
that
right.
for you? You know?
Yeah. So when I interned, I actually was single. And I was like talking to, different guys or whatever. But
Mhm.
then as time went on, it was that gap, and I actually got hired on. I was in a relationship. And
Mhm.
so even before, I would like talk to him about like, hey, this is going to be my schedule. And of course it is hard, like going, days without seeing someone or whatever the case may be. But in my situation specifically, my boyfriend actually works an evening shift. So he works from like 2 to 11.
Okay.
And so that can be a struggle sometimes, like on nights. You work 12 hours, so whether that's going in at 4 to 4 or 5 to 5, that's 12 hours you're out there. So you have the struggles of like however many days you work, because we want like 5 days on. So like 5 days, whether you on nights or days, that can be tough, because you go in at a certain time, and then he would be coming off, of work, and then
Oh
I'll be
yeah,
going
yeah.
in, or I'm trying to get sleep to go in.
Right,
It
right,
can
yeah.
it can get tough. But on the flip side, it's really, really, really lovely when you have those consecutive days off. You can like pick up and
Mhm.
have extra time to do whatever. So it can be tough. I guess, and then too, it just depends on kind of person you are,
Mhm.
because um, when it comes to, like I said, priorities and stuff, you have to just know in the back of your mind, like, I have to keep this part of me, available. So like on
Mhm.
days you do have work, sometimes you have to sacrifice, like, hey, I haven't seen them, like, let me get up maybe 2 hours early before work
Mhm.
if I'm on night shift, or when I get off, if they're off, let me go and see them, let me spend time with them. So it's tough, sometimes, but like I say, when you have those consecutive days off, it makes up for it. And then it's also a plus too, if you live with the person, you don't have to worry about that, you come home to them.
Right.
So um the struggle is like real when you have to work those days,
Mhm.
but like I said, it makes up for it on the back end when you're off and you get to spend time with family. And then being off on days like for me, I guess too, he works like 5 days out the week and then are off on weekends.
Mhm.
And like when I have vacation or something, like I can just take 2 days and I have like 9 days off versus
Right.
him. He had to take 2 days of vacation. He only have 4 days off, you know?
Right.
So yeah, it's hard sometimes, but it's not extremely hard to me where it's like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, work is overpowering my relationship. I feel like it's a good balance, you know. You just have to have somebody who is willing and who knows and who agrees. So like once you're willing to say, hey, I can work with that, you know, and then they agree to it, and then they're willing to like take the time and work with you to see each other. That it has to all be like one, you know what I mean? So I feel like personally though, in this relationship, it has not really affected me to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm questioning my job because of my relationship and seeing that person, you know, and we don't even live together. So I feel like, you know, for sure, like when we do like live together, I think it would be way better too. You know what I mean?
Yep, that's true. Hey, that's true. And then also too, guys, with these type of jobs, look, the time is a big factor. Now the divorce rate is high. We're not gonna sit here and lie to you, but you have to use the power of discernment. You know, you pick someone, and you're not gonna be perfect every time, but you need to have someone who truly wants to support you or just care about you. You know, even if
that's right.
they just say they're not with it, at least they a good enough person to tell you, okay, hey, look, we're gonna have to go our separate ways because I can't handle this. So guys, use the power of discernment best you can. I pray that you find somebody who will support you. Hey, there's a lot of people now, they'll jump for the money, but hey, you gotta, hey, just take your time and it works out. As you can see, Shardae, her relationship's doing well and she's working the hours. Hey, I'm married and my marriage, hey, we ain't sitting here killing each other. So, you know,
that's right.
And the time, and hey, that time off, you have to make up for it. So, like I say, I get that week off, 4 week off. Now you got to start moving some stuff around. Say, okay, well, hey, I got 7 days off, 5 days off. Let me get up. Let me stay up late. Let me do whatever I need to do. Because once I'm gone,
that's
I'm gone,
right.
You know.
That's right.
So that's good there. Let's see. It gives you another good question out here. We'll make this the last one, so you know, enjoy the rest of your day off. Let's see. How was it your first day working like in bad weather, and you knew, okay, this the part of the job this is when I earn the money here. Go through one of them days where you really have to earn the money.
Oh yeah. If I had to pick, you know, most days are not bad. Like, I mean, I could probably count on my hand how many bad days, you know, it was. Right. But when it's a bad day, it is a bad day. You know, you're standing long hours, you're tired because you're there for 12 hours. So if there's something going on, you have to be there. You have to respond, you have to fix the issue, you know, and you have to know what to do. And so for me, like one of them bad days, you know, it's hard. Like you're on your feet, you're tired, and sometimes this stuff happening spontaneous and in emergency situations, you have to know what to do. And that goes back to like just being in the field and in the position you are in right now and trying to get as much knowledge as you can. So when it is a bad day, you know how to respond, you feel confident in yourself, because there's nothing like having a bad day and like stuff's going on and you don't know what to do. That's not a good feeling. And that's one thing I had to do. I had to like continue to try hard and know my information and know what to do so I could execute on a bad day, because that's when you have to really show up. It's not on those good days, it's on those bad days, right. You know.
That's really true. You said it perfectly. Hey,
yeah, thank you.
You got to be prepared for those tough days, because they're coming. They are guaranteed.
That's right.
You know, hey,
that's right.
You're gonna earn them money on them tough days.
That's right. Yeah.
But Shardae, I want to thank you again for your time today. You probably helping so many women out there, and men too. You know, hey, they're able to see, because they may be, you know, like your boyfriend, they might have a girlfriend or a wife that wants to get into this field, and now they got a full perspective. So thank you for coming on. We'll definitely have you over here again.
That's right. And if any other questions that y'all, think of and y'all want to ask, or, like the dialogue of me and Thania's doing it, just ask questions and we'll give you our perspectives on it, and like tell you what we go through, or if it's something specific you want to ask, you can hit me up on Instagram. It don't matter.
Yep, that's true. Yeah, and I'll have our Instagram link in the description below. And Shardae, hopefully you get that channel started up soon. So hey, we can send everybody your way. They
That's right. That's right.
With as many questions, and hey, you're gonna do great. Either way.
Thank you so much. And thank you for having me. And thank you for everyone who, the questions and everything. It's good to have these videos out, because like, man, you were talking like back when we were going through, we wish we had these videos and this resource, So yeah, I'm thankful for being on here and hopefully impacting someone.
There you go. All right, guys. Well, that's it for today. We will get with you in the next one. Make sure you subscribe, share the video, and thanks for your time.
All right. Bye.
Bye.